Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Football Podcast. We've just finished watching Spain, who've been held to a draw by the second smallest nation in the World Cup. This is what World Cup is all about. Today, we're going to talk about the top seven nations, the contenders, and some outsiders who might have a shot at it as well. Germany, Spain, England, Portugal, France, Brazil, and Argentina. We've just watched Spain play a nil-nil draw against Cape Verde. Let's start there. Let's try to break Spain's team first and see what are their chances in the World Cup, what is their weakness, what is their strength. Namo, it was your pick for the World Cup. They have just drawn against the second smallest nation in the World Cup. Are you still confident?
For now, after watching Spain and Argentina winning it after a very bad first match, you should never rule out a big team, big nation. So they might have a bad day. They were missing their top players, like the one that breaks the low backs, like Yamal and William.
But
And also they
they did
didn't
come on in the
convert.
second half.
Yes, but it was very late in the game, and also they
They
were
had like
coming
half an
back.
hour to impact.
They came on like at 70th minute, and they also come back from an injury. Anyhow, my point is like if you wanna get it done and you want to win, you should be able to do the job without even your players because you eventually are playing Cape Verde. That shouldn't be a big problem. I'm disappointed to be honest, and I only hope that they learn from their mistakes today and they just go back to what they are good at it, meaning playing football. Today they didn't play football.
I think you were referring to Spain losing to Switzerland in 2010 in the first game, and then
Exactly.
Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia last World Cup, and they still
Yes.
went on to win the World Cup. So you're still confident about your pick?
Yes.
Okay, Safin, you were not convinced with Spain even before this game. In the previous video, you had your concerns. Do you think it's just a blip?
I think I still feel the same about Spain. I Regarding Nomo's point, if you are missing one or two stars against Cabo Verde, if you do not have that squad depth to still be able to compete to the level of expectations that people do have on you, I think it's hard to back them. But then again, it is the first game. I think we need to wait one or two more games to really decide. But then again, in one or two games, group stage is done. So
Yeah, the thing is, it's not that they're missing Lamine Yamal and they can't do. Look who is playing instead of him. It's like Ferran Torres. It's Barcelona player who won the La Liga. It's not some nobody playing in that position, and it's Cape Verde against you. It's not Brazil. So shouldn't they be able to win 3-4-0 anyways with whatever side they put on the pitch?
I actually just want to add one more thing. I was a bit confused about the formation because Gavi was eventually coming back from a very not so hyped season. He didn't play much this season, and he was playing at left back, like left winger kind of thing. And then Ferran Torres at Barcelona, he usually plays at number 9, and then he was playing at wide. I didn't get like what was his point. He thought that he might want to dominate the midfield and then use Cucurella and Llorente on the sides, but it didn't work a bit. So they really need a lot of improvements from here on.
Safin, do you think it was tactics or was it just complacency that he just thought, the manager thought that I can just put any player on any position and we'll just steamroll this Cape Verde side?
I think it was more so tactics, because as Nomo said, you are going up against a super low block, and the players and where they were playing, I don't understand the logic of putting Gavi left wing. I don't understand what you're trying to do with that. You're trying to dominate the midfield, but then again, you're going up against a low block, back and forth passes in the middle is not going to do anything for you. So I
All
do
right,
think
let's
it
try
was.
to break down Spain's squad and also their chances this World Cup. You had your reservations about them. What were they? Why did you think before the World Cup started that this side might not go that further? Safin.
I think they got overhyped a lot. If you do look at individual players on their whole roster, I don't think they have the best squad at all. I'm not gonna say they have a shitty squad either, but the hype that they received leading up to this World Cup as heavy favorites, they weren't just light favorites. People had, on most bookies, they were listed as number one along with France.
They
I
just
just
won the Euros, I mean, and they beat France in the semifinals in that.
still doesn't change my mind. I think they got overhyped a lot.
Where do you think their weaknesses are?
From watching, I think it's honestly the final third. I don't think their midfield and defense is the biggest of their issues. Because at the end of the day, yeah, they're going up against a small nation, but they also conceded two shots and one on target or something like that. They were dominating the game, but if there's no end product, then there's really no point.
Namo, you picked Oyarzabal as your favorite to win the Golden Boot. Do you still back him?
That guy is not the best striker in the world, but if you have players
Yeah, no shit.
putting the ball putting the ball right where it should be, he is good enough to convert them. And it's also just let's not forget, it's right the beginning. It's the first match, and it is actually the best time to learn that you need to make changes. You need to improve. It's much better than the next round or in any other stage of the game. Right now, you're learning that hey, it doesn't work with Gavi in the wide or Ferran Torres all the way to the right wing, and you need to click. You need to be faster. So it's a good stage to actually fail, if you could put it in that way. But I think from here on, they could put it together. They need to improve a lot, that's for sure. And Oyarzabal,
So,
give him the ball in the right spot, he will convert it to you.
so you still think that that is not necessarily Spain's weakness, the center forward position, or like a weaker point as compared to some other teams who have better strikers, like Julian Alvarez, for example?
You could argue both ways, because if they were dependent on a striker to convert and to just score all their goals, yes. But as we saw in the Euros, he is not the only one who scores. They had midfielders, Ruiz, he was scoring. They had Nico Williams who was scoring, Yamal who was scoring. So it's a team that scores like a team. Like all the players are involved. So if you were completely dependent on that guy to convert, yes, I would agree with you. But again, first match, let's not just write them off. Let's give them the better of the doubt, I would say.
Talking about being dependent on someone, Safin, if you take Lamine Yamal out of this team because of injury, red card, do you think Spain will still have the same potency in terms of trying to score goals in front of others, or
No, I think they do in a way heavily rely on him. We saw when he came on the field, they were trying their hardest to get him on in those 1v1 situations to break their line. And yeah, I honestly think you take Lamine and I mean I haven't seen much of Nico Williams yet. He came on late, but let's keep it with Lamine. I do think if you take him out, then they're a lot worse of a team.
do you agree, Namo? Is it also a huge problem relying on one player? You can technically lose him because of injury or suspension in a
I
big
mean,
game.
like, yeah, you shouldn't be dependent on a player, but again, most of the teams that have won it, they did it because they had a great player who was there in all those matches. Like giving good old example of Messi, you could have taken Messi out, and Argentina would definitely not have won it. But he was there, and he did all the job that he was supposed to do. So eventually, it's like saying that, yeah, of course, if he's out, Spain is lacking a lot. But when he is there, he's supposed to be there. There are 8 matches, so it's not a good thing to be dependent on a player. But you also want those players in the tournaments to show up and to show what they are capable of.
I personally think it could be a problem because most of the sides that have won it weren't relying on just one player. Maybe Messi did it in 2022 and Maradona in 1986. But if you look at 2002, Brazil had stars all over the pitch. Italian team in 2006, not reliant on one single player. Spain in 2010, star-studded team from back to front. 2014 Germany, not reliant on a single player. Same with France 2018. So most of the times the teams that win are actually the ones who don't rely on one player. Of course, if someone performs out of this world, if Lamine Yamal has the best month of his life, he will single-handedly win it for Spain. But for me, I think it could be a problem that even against Cape Verde, you're not able to break them down without your best player. So let's just get out our predictions and then we move on to the next team. How far, Safin, do you think Spain are going?
I think they make it to the quarterfinals.
Right.
I think this year's semifinals are gonna shock a lot of people. I don't think it's gonna be two big nations on both sides. I think someone's like a Morocco's gonna sneak in there or something.
It's like in 2002 we had Korea and Turkey who made it.
Yeah.
Could be something like that. Yeah. What about you now? I'm still thinking that Spain going all the way, winning the championship.
I think they got what it takes to win it. And if they just start playing like the way they used to, they still are there. They can do it.